Two guys in the dark.
I was the one at fault here. I was in nursing school when I got an email one morning about a life insurance policy that was written out in my name. I was confused at first, because I was a relatively healthy 26-year-old woman, but it didn't take long to figure out that my wife at the time did it. Besides, my wife and myself, she was the only other person to know my social security number and all the necessary information that was needed. She was the reason that I went to nursing school, constantly worked every double or every shift available at work. She was horribly abusive in every way imaginable. I was too afraid to leave her or call the police about it. To give you more of a perspective of the kind of person that she was, she would tell me every single day to go out into the woods and shoot myself. She would make me stand against a tree while she held a revolver against my forehead and played Russian roulette. She would give me a $20 a month allowance when I was the one making all of the money. And when I tried to get more for a gift or something, she'd maybe give me $1 more. She became so controlling to the point of tracking the mileage in my car to make sure that I wasn't going anywhere besides work and home. She would screen all my calls, so in order for me to call my family, I had to make up an excuse to leave the ranch, talk to them in secret, with specific instructions not to call me back. I would call them, and then delete all the call histories. This list is definitely not all that she put me through during our 4 years of marriage, but that's another story for another time. It'll be 6 years later this month from when I left her. I'm still not healed, and sadly I will never be fully at peace until she is gone and out of this world. Until then, I have to focus on myself and deal with the nightmares and night terrors as often as they come. I will be honest, I was the one that was in the wrong in this relationship. I thought that love was about honesty. But we know that the truth does hurt. As we grew more comfortable in our relationship, I stopped trying to take the sting out of it. I talked smack to my girlfriends, my mom, my coworkers, all the time. I would always tell them, "Can you believe that he didn't do this? And why in God's name did he even do that?" Instead of building up his ego, I trampled all over it. I belittled him quite often, saying that his job wasn't important, and dismissing his friends as hangers-on. I berated him for doing things wrong when, in all honesty, he just wasn't doing them my way. At times, I spoke to him like he was a child. I controlled the family finances, and grilled him over every single penny that he spent. And in the bedroom, yep, you guessed it, he was doing that all wrong too, and I wasn't shy about telling him so. As our marriage had crumbled, I found myself constantly looking for faults and mistakes so that I could justify my superiority. By the end, I had zero respect for him, and made sure that he knew it and felt it every single day. Looking back on it now, after the divorce of several years, I do regret what I have done. And if I could turn back time, I would change everything. My wonderful ex-girlfriend had deserted me and my 4-year-old son to run off with a man that was 19 years her senior. He was a retired Army sergeant who happened to run off his wife and the mother of his 4 children with a shotgun. She came to my apartment one day to berate me for filing an alienation of affection lawsuit against her lover. I told her that she was a very mixed-up person, and that if I were the bad guy, she told everyone that I was, she wouldn't have left her son with me, and that she needed to get some help. She ended up leaving. I later met a mutual friend, a woman who told me that she talked to my ex, and said that the visit was intended to lure me into following her, and said that she was setting up an ambush for me. I did not take the bait, however. She ended up marrying this guy. I retained full custody of our child. Things died down a few years back. He had gotten very sick and was put into a nursing home. He died alone, unvisited and unloved. She had sucked him dry financially, just like she had done to me. She didn't even have a funeral for him. Karma is such a bitch. By the way, she tried to recant her giving me the custody of the children, hoping that she would get child support so that she wouldn't have to work. I was a GS 09 in civil service at the time, making decent money. She was asking for half of my salary. When the judge asked her why she wanted to recant the custody agreement, she said she only signed it because I had held a gun on her in the office of the county attorney. The judge called her a liar and ruled in my favor. Imagine someone you love, with all of your heart and soul, would conspire with another man to do you in. If any of you are having a similar experience, make sure you change the beneficiaries on your life insurance policy so a cheating spouse gets nothing, and let them know that the beneficiaries were changed. It might save you from an assassination attempt. It was 2012, I think. I was in high school. I knew this girl from 7th grade, but I never talked to her until 2 years later. In 9th grade, she became my girlfriend, and for the first months, everything seemed just fine. It all began with other girls. I'll call them A, and call T my ex. A happened to have been my crush for many years until I knew T. T was always jealous because she thought that I never could get over A. The time passed, and she was becoming more and more jealous about A, and everyone in general. She started to get crazy mad at me when I went out with my friends. Even stopped talking to me for over a year when in a party I took a photo with my female best friend and uploaded it to my Instagram. In the last months of the relationship, T had told me that she was sure that I loved A, and that she would take a knife to school and kill her. And if she couldn't do that, she would buy a bag of weed, put it in the backpack of A, so that she could tell the principal that A was selling drugs to other students and get her expelled from school. I still remember that night when she said all of this. I knew that I had screwed up when I chose her as a girlfriend. Weeks after that, I told her that I couldn't handle the relationship and that it wouldn't work anymore. Some months after that, I discovered that A liked me, and with the time she became my girlfriend, as she's a very beautiful and kind person. She's not my girlfriend anymore, but at least she's not crazy like my ex. Now T thinks the reason because I left her is because I was secretly in love with A the whole time. However, I find it funny because it was her who predicted the destiny of the relationship and my relation with A. Now, I wasn't the best girlfriend in the whole world. And I know if I would have done things differently, maybe I would be married to the man that I love. We had a couple of kids together, and everybody knows it's easy to love your own children. It takes very little effort, and they adore you no matter what. Relationships are the polar opposite. It's work, and whenever my relationship started to feel like work, I would check out and head to Build-A-Bear Workshop or the Science Museum with the children in tow. I'd often plan these adventures when I knew that my boyfriend couldn't go, and spoil my good time. I told myself that it was okay because he preferred to work anyways, and always seemed grouchy on family outings. I chose most nights to cuddle with them in our bed, blaming him for his late-night bedtimes and snoring for the sleeping arrangements. As a result, we were hardly alone together, and never had any kid-free date nights. Well, maybe once a year on our anniversary, when I felt like actually having one with him. Eventually, he broke it off with me, because he was just sick and tired of all the excuses. At first, I was relieved. Then the guilt had settled in. I tried getting back with him, but he just wouldn't. He wouldn't give me the chance to try to reconcile things. And for that, I will have to live with for the rest of my life. I was with my girlfriend for 5 years and was making plans to propose to her. Then one day, she said that she wanted to take a break to figure things out. That was about 4 years ago. She had got married about 2 years after her break to a coworker who I later found out she was cheating on me with the whole time that we were together. I was devastated at this time, but I think that was all for the best. Also, it is a small world, because the husband that she is with is now cheating on her with somebody that I know. Thank you, karma.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, like, and hit the bell for notifications on future videos and become a stalker of the night. And I'll see you next time.